always with a curious mind. We'll talk, hear us howl, bringing the news with a whole lot of growl. Whitlow way, we're leading the pack. Wolf Talk's here and we're never looking back.
Welcome to Wolf Talk, the Whitlow Elementary podcast. Your school, your news, your pack. I'm Vihan.
I'm Mason.
I'm Adithri.
And I'm Charlie.
Today we're honored to talk to Zackrey Ceasar, the founder and CEO of Revolutionary Entertainment Group, LLC, or R.E.G.
R.E.G. is based in Atlanta and works in many areas: music, media, esports, films, and even community development.
We want to learn about how Mr. Zack builds a successful entertainment company, how he uses technology and problem solving, and how he's making a difference in communities through his work.
Mr. Zack, what inspired you to start your own company?
First of all, thank you guys for having me here today. I really appreciate y'all bringing me in to interview me. But what inspired me most is one, creativity. I love creating stuff, kind of like what you guys are doing right here. But last but not least, I'll say freedom. Freedom to do what I want, when I want, how I want, where I want. So that's one of my main reasons for starting the company.
Your company does a lot of cool things: music, videos, gaming, and even company projects. Which part did you start with first and why?
Film and television, because I started out acting. My very first acting job was in theater at 8 years old for the church that I belonged to at the time. Then it grew into stage plays for the Civic Center in my hometown of Monroe, Louisiana. Then it grew into commercials and then short films and then eventually films. And that led to me doing directing, television directing and stuff like that. So I'll say it started out with film and then it kind of grew into a love for all entertainment.
Wait, so you're a director?
I've done directing, producing, all types of other film-related things, esports, music production, podcast productions. I've been around some of your favorite entertainers, music and acting.
I have
Yeah.
a question.
Sure.
Does esports mean like the FC mobile game, like Madden and the soccer game?
Some of the coolest stuff you'll ever see. So you go into these rooms with the biggest, say you go into like a studio room where you have this huge auditorium and there's like tons of people simply playing Madden to win tournaments. And you can win prizes, you can win money, you can win trips out of the country. It's some of the coolest stuff. It's one of the biggest industries in the world right now too. So yeah. Kids your age are getting rich from that.
Wow. I would love to be.
Me too.
Many of us use tablets, computers, and editing programs in class. What kinds of technology do you use every day in your job?
Believe it or not, mostly just my phone. So I put deals together. When I was into the entertainment industry, it was technology like this. It was multiple different film cameras. It was multiple different mics. Now I put deals together as executive producer, stuff like that. So I help people utilize technology in multiple different ways, but I'll say film cameras are probably my biggest technology use. Things like the red cameras, so the movies that you watch in the movie theaters, and when you see some that are extremely high definition, which is the contrast of the films that they use. That's the type of technology that we work with.
Can you tell us about a time when something went wrong during a project and you had to use problem solving to solve it?
Oh, absolutely. So there was this one time I was directing a TV show called Two Turntables and a Mic. It was about legendary artists and stuff, and I was directing that show. So unfortunately, a emergency happened with one of the cameramen, and he had to leave in the middle of filming a show, and he took his camera equipment with him. So imagine starting out a show that people have paid tons of money for, and you start out with 3 cameras and now you're only down to 1. Well, the problem solving is anytime you're doing anything that's business related, French, it doesn't matter. Always have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan, especially in the business world. So in stuff like this, you have to anticipate something bad like that just may happen. You always have someone on speed dial waiting just in case you lose something.
You met some very famous musicians and actors. What skills helped you build relationships by being creative, being kind, working hard, or something else?
A little bit of all of it. The biggest one I would have to say just be resourceful. Be very resourceful. And a lot of times when you want to get around certain people, believe it or not, I just ask. Some of the biggest names that I have met, I simply just ask if I could talk to them about certain stuff. So I'll probably say one of the biggest names is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter, Dr. Bernice King. So we was doing a real estate development, and believe it or not, I just emailed her. I just reached out to her. Of course, you want to be kind. You're not going to get a lot if you're a mean person about anything, right? Imagine me trying to get something from you and I'm rude about it. You're probably not going to want to do it, right? It's developing people skills, knowing how to talk to people, getting off social media and talking to people face to face is a good way to learn how to communicate properly with different people. And then, of course, anytime you want to work with someone, always have something to offer. People respond faster when you offer something to them than opposed to just asking them for something.
So basically, you just like DM like old celebrities and
Mm,
stuff.
Kinda. I ain't gonna say old and new. Yeah, and that don't always work. Sometimes you have to have great communication skills. You have to get around certain people to get to someone else. Some people you have to know to go through, talk to, go around, or even network with, but always do it with kindness and love and a pure heart.
Your company also helps communities by giving people jobs and training. Why is helping others an important part of your work?
Well, a lot of times I think we don't realize how fortunate we are because we're always looking for more. You think about it, like, especially when the younger you are, we're always looking for so much more that we forget that there are kids in this world that don't have the clothes you're wearing right now. There are kids that don't have food. There are people that don't have homes to live in. They sleep in cold weather just like this. And we get to have warm beds and stuff like that. And we get so self-absorbed a lot of times that we only care about us and we forget that there are people out there that can utilize our help. And some of these people, believe it or not, like my daughters, Sonia and Jayla, they go out and they feed the homeless directly. They don't offer stuff to people. They go out in cold weather to people that live in tent cities and they offer blankets, jackets, food, and other products to these people because a lot of these people we look down on, or society look down on, and hey, they're lazy or they don't. When in fact, these people just may need encouragement. They may need help. And if you give them the right training, if you give them the right skills, if you give them the right care and the right love, you'll realize they're no different from us. So helping people, if you help others, that means you can also help this country and help the world become better by helping other people become better. Because that's what makes a better country. That's what makes a better world. But us helping other people, right? There's enough hatred being spread. So you want to also spread love to equal out that.
Students in our school use data like checking views on our videos or seeing how long something takes to download. How do you use data or numbers when you make decisions for your company?
For my company specifically, so for example, we're looking to build a massive 200-acre film studio, something like Tyler Perry. And on these film studios, we tend to build these massive data centers. This is where they store all of the films being used. This is where they store all of the technology for artificial intelligence, which they call AI. They get to use all of this information because a lot of times when you look at companies like Netflix, you click on that app and you ever wonder where they get all of these films from? How do they get access to it? The more content you have, the more people want to come to your site and pay you a lot of money. That's how you get rich, by the way. So in our industry, the more content you have, the more data you collect. So our data is basically the content. So that's how we use data.
STEM is a big part of Whitlow. How do you use science, technology, engineering, or math math show up in your work, even if you're doing something creative?
So, for example, I'll use science in the sense of, let's say we're on set of a film, right? And it's nighttime because that's the only time we have on our schedule to film, but we need daylight. So imagine there are some films you have probably looked at and thought it was daytime outside and it was absolutely dark outside. That's because they use the lighting in a certain way to use the effect of giving off sunlight. That's the science behind the lighting in some of those films. The technology is stuff like this that we use to shoot the films, the cameras, the camera equipment, the sound boards, the sound scoring, how we engineer it to make the voices go up or down, or how I can who speaks deep can make my voice sound like this. It's the technology that we use to do all of that. It's fine. You can laugh. It's all good. I make them do it all the time. Math is, I'll say, the angle that we would use to create certain lighting effects. Certain lighting, you may have to bounce the light from that wall to this side of the room. So you have to angle it just right in order to get that lighting effect. And of course, engineering is using this, right? This is basically so if you go to school for music production, one of the classes you would have to take is an engineering class so that you will know how to engineer certain music, certain sound scores, certain editing software. So that's pretty much how we implement all of that into it.
You work in areas like esports and film. What new technologies or ideas are you most excited for kids our age to try someday?
You know what? It may take you guys as group age to create this, but I really would love for holograms to come out one day. So imagine not just playing a video game, but you're in one. Imagine that. Imagine going to a movie and not just watching a movie, but you're literally almost in the movie. You're immersed into it. It's almost like you can meet whoever's in the movie. It's that realistic. So instead of the witch of Wicked flying on a screen, she could literally fly over your head without 3D glasses. So one day I'm hoping holograms become a thing of the past, and we get to utilize a lot of cool stuff. And then there's things such as roads that can charge your car so you'll never have to really use gas. Greenhouses that can keep your lights on without paying a light bill. There's things like that that you probably wouldn't understand, but I'll keep it at the hologram because that's probably be the coolest thing someone your age group could understand.
So, are holograms actually gonna come out?
They're already out right now, just not at the level that I'm speaking of. But if you've ever been to like Disney World and if you've seen certain things in Disney, especially like the Haunted Mansion, and you see people that look like ghost figures walking around when they're not even real people, that's just holograms. And you can go to Vegas and see certain things like the dome. They have a sphere that they utilize holograms all the time. So yeah, it's already here. It's just a matter of how do we stem the situation, right? To make them stronger, look more realistic, bigger, better. That's all.
Yeah, that's how I thought the spear was so loud. And like I thought I was at like a real place because like the wind is literally blowing at you.
Now,
And
eventually,
is it like the airport?
um, it could potentially utilize stuff with the airport. That could be a little dangerous though, because you need air controlled traffic to be able to stay focused. But I'm sure they may utilize it. You know what? They do utilize training for pilots with holograms. They do utilize holograms for that.
How do holograms fly plane?
Play a role in training pilots to fly. They have to be in real life simulation situations. So they will utilize holograms to show pilots, to put pilots basically in the seat of a plane without actually being in a plane, just so they can see, feel what it's like to actually fly a plane.
What advice would you give to a student who loves creative things like music or videos, but also enjoying technology and wants to be those together in the future?
Stay creative. Stay creative. The one thing that kills creativity, the one thing, I don't see any kids outside riding bikes anymore. I barely see it. You know what I see most?
Electric scooters?
Well, yeah, that, but I see a lot of kids on their phones and tablets too much. And the problem with that is back in our day, and I know I'm going to sound like a dinosaur right now, and I never thought I would say this to younger kids, but back in my day, we didn't have phones that had screens on them that you can read emails and Facebook, and we didn't have all of that. We had to go outside and play with other kids and talk to other kids and get dirty and fall and get scratched up. Now, I know you're probably saying, "Well, what that has to do with?" It has a lot, because when you're around other people and you talk to other people, you instantly come up with ideas. Instantly, you automatically start to come up with stuff. And the more you talk to people and you deal with other people and you come up with ideas and you strategize, you'll start to come up with regular, common content. So you always have to just stay creative. Things that helped with this is staying off of social media, consuming every little thing from social media has to offer, and read a book. Just read a book, because it keeps your brain stimulated that way. Now, I probably in that situation need to take my own advice, but at the end of the day, reading helps your brain stay strong and sharp. It keeps the creative juices flowing, and talking to people. Do not be afraid to talk to people you disagree with. Because a lot of times people think that just because you disagree on something, just because you may sound different, talk different, look different, that you're automatically not going to agree on stuff, which is not true. You can find inspiration in some of the weirdest places. You can go talk to homeless people and they can give you some of the best advice ever. They just didn't know how to implement it themselves. So always stay creative. Just stay creative. Stay reading. Stay thinking of new ideas. Don't think that something's too big that it can't happen. Because if someone tells you that you can't do something, remember, most of the things that someone has said would never happen has already been done. Someone one day said that it's impossible to fly an airplane. Now you're flying airplanes. So stay creative.
What I've been wondering, like, if you just have like a phone and computer, like, how do you like make it
From your phone?
like anything?
Like, just what do you mean? Ask the question again.
Like if from a phone or something? Like, how do you like make a game?
Well, they have different apps that can help you with that. Different animations and stuff that can help you create certain games. For example, if you're looking to do like a Madden or something like that, if you're looking to create your own Madden, something like that. Now, granted, that type of stuff takes a lot of money and a very big team, and it takes a very long time to create that. But to start out, I would one say probably just go to school. But there are a lot of different apps that you can download that can help you on a smaller level start out to learn how to make video games, even if it's smaller. And then once you graduate to like the college level, then you'll kind of start to see the process. It takes a lot more than just, from an app to build a video game or a game.
So you just code the games, basically?
It's coding, but it's also animation. The stuff that people don't see is that when you see people on Madden video games like football games, you have to have people in a room doing the same animation over and over and over again in front of a green screen with a bunch of dots all on them. And let's say you like NBA 2K and you see how they shoot like that, you have to have people to go in a room and just do this all day. Chris Paul may have to come in and show people how he shoot so they can get that animation. Someone has to dribble a basketball so they can get that animation. It takes literally months to make one scene in a film, or even in a video game. So it takes a lot.
Mr. Zack, is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
Stay in school, stay smart, stay kind. Never think you're better than anyone else, because life can humble you really quick. And always try to do what's right. You're not going to be perfect, but always try to do what's right. But above all, don't quit. Don't give up. You got a dream. If you got something that you would like to do with your life, understand everyone is not always going to agree with what you're trying to do in life, because that's not their dream. And when someone tells you that you can't do something, just always remember that's them basically saying, if I were you, I couldn't do it. So stick to your gun. Don't quit. Keep going.
Thank you, Mr. Zack, for sharing your story and vision with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
We're inspired by how you combined art, technology, and the community to make a bigger impact.
Let's tune in for a quick segment from our few of our fifth grade friends.
Hi everyone, we're your special guest hosts for today's Christmas movie segment. I'm Diksha from Miss Ensley's class.
I'm Alana from Miss Crandall's class.
I'm Carly from Miss Wood's class.
I'm Sophia from Miss Crandall's class.
Christmas is right around the corner, so we wanted to take a minute to share some of our favorite family movies.
We hope this inspires you to find the fun movie to watch with your family this month.
I picked Grinch as my favorite Christmas movie because it's the OG movie for Christmas and I love all the little parts they make to make it funny.
My favorite Christmas movie is Dear Santa because it's a different from every traditional Christmas movie, and it's really funny too.
I've never heard of that movie. What do you like about it?
My favorite part is where he dances up on the stage.
That's cool.
My favorite Christmas movie is Elf because it's funny and it's good to watch with family, and the hat is so cute.
I actually never watched Elf before.
And me too. I've watched it. It's really funny. What's your
Yeah.
favorite part?
My favorite part is when he always go to do he makes funny stuff, like he makes a mess and it looks so funny.
My favorite Christmas movie is Home Alone 1 because it's really funny, and my favorite part is when the grandma pours the food, pigeon food to the prisoners, and then the pigeons go to the prisoners and start eating the food.
That's really funny.
I like that part too.
Same. Thanks for listening to our Christmas movie segment.
We hope you take a moment today to think about Christmas movies you made with your family's holidays more fun.
Now let's get back to the show.
And thank you, Wolfpack, for turning into Wolfpack. Your school, your news, your pack.
Events to share and stories to tell. In our den where ideas swell. From science sparks to careers that shine. Whitlow wolves always on the climb. Wolf talk, hear us howl. Bringing the news with a whole lot of growl. Whitlow way, we're leading the pack. Wolf Talk's here and we're never looking back.